Janet was a referral from a friend actually for individual counseling. I was engaged to be married, and my wife and I were having some differences about things, so we just wanted to do some work and check into that, and Janet was the referral, and she was great. She suggested group therapy, and I was reticent to engage, but I just thought, why would I want to share my feelings and problems with other people? But so it took a while. But once I started, it turned out to be just the opposite. One of the biggest benefits of the workbook, Facing Your Fears, was the interaction of the group, the other voices that the group members contributed. My perceptions of myself were much different than the way they saw me, so to have that feedback was tremendous. And the fact that you're meeting each week in a group creates an accountability that you have to do your exercises and be prepared to talk about the issues at each session each week. And that's huge. I mean, it's just a little bit of peer pressure in a way, and it makes you go through those things and answer those questions and think about it and be ready to talk about it more during the group session. The workbook is great because it asks you to be introspective and identify your issues and write them down, and then those are discussed in the group, and so you get the feedback that way, and it just helps you identify actually very quickly the things that you're trying to deal with, but it takes that stress away. And you could spend years in therapy with how does that feel, how does this feel, and that doesn't, it gets to some issues, but this has a construct to it that gives you a framework to understand the questions and to find the answers. The most remarkable thing about Facing Your Fears is that it can take whatever issues you're dealing with, and our group had a diversity of issues that we were facing, whether it was personal, work, whatever, and I had several of each. But it breaks those down into components that you can handle. Everybody benefits from the group. It's very simple. You're there. If you're doing your work, if you're answering the questions that are in Face Your Fears in the workbook, then you will get information that you maybe didn't expect from yourself, but mostly you're sharing that information in the group as well, so you get great feedback.